We often see problems as simple obstacles to overcome. We want a quick fix, a checklist, or a handy acronym to guide us. But what if the acronym wasn't just a memory aid? What if it was a formula for deep, structured thinking? That's the power of CRIPFCnt. It looks like a jumble of letters, but it's actually a powerful lens. It forces us to dissect a problem, layer by layer, until we expose its hidden complexities. It's not about finding the easy answer. It's about asking the right, often uncomfortable questions that lead to genuine understanding. This approach moves us from simply knowing what to do, to truly grasping why it matters. Let's apply this formula to a common challenge: networking. We're often told to get out there and make connections. The advice is simple, but the experience is anything but. For many, networking events feel transactional, awkward, and even demoralizing. We shake hands, exchange business cards, and hope something sticks. But this superficial approach rarely leads to meaningful relationships or real opportunities. It treats a complex human interaction as a simple numbers game. The CRIPFCnt formula invites us to pause and look much deeper, questioning the very foundation of what we think networking is all about. Using CRIPFCnt isn't about finding a shortcut to becoming a master networker. Instead, it's a commitment to understanding the system itself. Each letter prompts a new line of inquiry, pushing us past the surface-level advice we've all heard before. We will take the seemingly straightforward concept of networking and put it through this rigorous 8-step examination. We will challenge our assumptions, question the status quo, and explore the unseen forces that shape who connects with whom. It's a process of deconstruction that ultimately allows for a more intentional and impactful reconstruction of our approach. This journey through CRIPFCnt will transform how you see networking. It will shift your focus from "what can I get" to what is really going on here. We will move from the individual's anxiety in a crowded room to a broader exploration of access, fairness, and opportunity. This isn't just an academic exercise, it's a practical tool for anyone who wants to navigate their professional world with greater awareness and efficacy. By the end, you'll see that CRIPFCnt is not something you memorize, but something you actively use to make sense of the intricate social dynamics around you. First, we begin with C for consciousness. What is the lived reality of networking? The common advice paints a picture of a meritocratic exchange of value. But let's be honest about the conscious experience. For many, it's a performance filled with anxiety. We're acutely aware of our own status, our clothes, the way we speak, and how we are being perceived by others. Is it truly a space for authentic connection, or is it a stage where everyone plays a role, hoping to impress the right people? This consciousness isn't just about being self-aware, it's about recognizing the social pressures and silent judgments that fill the room before a single word is spoken. Next, we confront R for responsibility. Who is responsible for making networking inclusive and effective? The burden is usually placed on the individual. We are told it's our job to be charming, to have a perfect elevator pitch, and to follow up relentlessly. But is that fair? What is the responsibility of the event organizers, the established leaders, or the super connectors in the room? Should those with power and extensive networks have a greater responsibility to bridge gaps and introduce newcomers to the right circles? Expecting a junior employee or an industry outsider to single-handedly break into established cliques ignores the power dynamics at play. This shift in perspective is crucial. By questioning where responsibility truly lies, we move away from a model of individual struggle to one of collective effort. If a networking environment feels exclusive, is it the fault of the person who feels excluded, or is it a failure of the community's design? Assigning responsibility solely to the person trying to get in is like blaming a key for not fitting a lock that was designed to keep it out. We need to examine the architecture of our professional communities and ask who is responsible for building better doors, not just for telling people to find better keys. Ultimately, exploring consciousness and responsibility reveals that networking is far from a level playing field. The internal anxiety we feel, consciousness, is often a direct result of an external system that places all the pressure on us. Responsibility. Recognizing this is the first step toward change. It allows us to stop blaming ourselves for the inherent difficulties of the process. Instead, we can start asking more productive questions about how to create environments where connection is less about performance and more about genuine mutual support. This isn't about finding excuses, it's about accurately diagnosing the problem. Now we arrive at I for interpretation. How do we interpret the outcomes of networking? When someone successfully lands a job or a client after a conference, we often attribute it to their skill. We say they were a great networker, but what about the role of luck, timing, or privilege? Was it their brilliant conversation, or was it the fact that they attended the same university as the hiring manager? We must ask, is networking success a true measure of skill, or is it often a story we tell ourselves to make sense of a process heavily influenced by chance and pre-existing social connections? This leads us directly to P for purpose. What is the real purpose of networking? The stated goal is often about career advancement or finding opportunities, but is that the whole story? For some, the purpose is validation, the need to be seen as important by being in the right rooms. For others, it's about reinforcing an existing power structure, where insiders connect with other insiders. Could the deeper, unstated purpose of many networking events be to maintain the status quo rather than to disrupt it? If we are not honest about the true purpose, we can't evaluate whether our actions are actually serving our best interests or just someone else's agenda. Then comes F for frequencies. In any social environment, whose voices, ideas, and presence are amplified, who operates on a frequency that is easily heard and seen by those in power? Think about the charismatic extrovert versus the thoughtful introvert, or the industry veteran versus the bright newcomer. Their ideas might have equal merit, but their signals are received with vastly different clarity. Some people seem to take up all the air in the room, their frequency drowning out others. We must question which frequencies our professional spaces are tuned to, and who is being left in the silence as a result. By examining interpretation, purpose, and frequencies, we expose the hidden rules of the game. We see that success is not always what it seems. Interpretation, the goals are not always what we're told. Purpose and visibility is not distributed equally. Frequencies, this understanding is empowering. It helps us navigate these spaces with a more realistic and strategic mindset. We can stop chasing an idealized version of networking and start engaging with the system as it actually is. It allows us to be more intentional about whose frequency we choose to amplify, and more critical of the narratives of success we hear. The formula continues with C for civilization. This prompts us to ask about the unspoken rules, norms, and permissions that govern our professional world. Why, in a supposedly modern civilization, do certain people still need an introduction, or a stamp of approval from a gatekeeper to be taken seriously? This is about more than just being polite. It's about an invisible social structure that grants or denies legitimacy. Who decided that a warm introduction is more valuable than a cold email? These civilized rules often serve to protect established hierarchies and make it harder for outsiders, no matter how talented, to gain access and prove their worth. Next is N for negotiation. What are the constant, subtle negotiations happening during networking? It's not just about salary or contracts. We are negotiating for attention, for credibility, and for a spot in someone's inner circle. When you ask for someone's time, you are negotiating against their other priorities. When you share an idea, you are negotiating for it to be heard. Gatekeepers are central to this process. They hold the power to broker these deals, deciding who gets a meeting, who gets a recommendation, and who is left waiting. This negotiation is a constant, often invisible currency exchange of social capital. Finally, we consider DT for technology. How could technology fundamentally change this entire game? Today, platforms like LinkedIn digitize the traditional networking model, often reinforcing the same old hierarchies and gatekeeping. But what if technology could do more? Imagine a system that uses AI to identify talent based on proven skills, not social connections. What if it could create platforms for structured serendipity, connecting people with shared interests and complementary needs in a way that bypasses human bias? Technology holds the potential to either amplify existing inequalities or to become a powerful force for democratizing opportunity. Putting these final pieces together, civilization, negotiation, and technology, reveals a path forward. By questioning the unwritten rules of our professional civilization, we can identify the barriers that need to be dismantled. By understanding the constant flow of negotiation, we can become more adept at navigating it or creating more equitable systems. And by leveraging technology thoughtfully, we have the chance to redesign the entire landscape of professional connection, making it more about merit and less about who you know. This is where CRIPFCnt moves from analysis to action, pointing toward a more inclusive future. We have journeyed through the CRIPFCnt formula using networking as our guide. We started with a simple problem and uncovered layers of complexity related to social anxiety, hidden responsibilities, luck, power dynamics, and systemic barriers. We've seen that networking isn't just a skill to be learned, it's a complex system to be understood. The formula forced us to ask difficult questions at every turn, pushing past the easy conventional answers. This is the core function of CRIPFCnt. It is a structured process for critical thinking that can be applied to any challenge you face. The goal was not to give you a new 5-step guide to networking. The goal was to equip you with a new way of seeing. Now, when you walk into a room, you can be conscious of the unspoken anxieties. You can question who holds the responsibility for inclusion. You can interpret outcomes with more nuance and clarify your own purpose. You can notice the frequencies that are being amplified and the negotiations that are taking place. This deeper awareness doesn't just make you a better networker, it makes you a more insightful and empathetic professional. CRIPFCnt is not a passive acronym to be filed away in your memory. It is a tool for active use. Its power is unlocked not by remembering what each letter stands for, but by applying the questions each letter provokes. Think about a problem you are currently facing. It could be a team project that's struggling, a career decision you're weighing, or a community issue you care about. Write down the letters CRIPFCnt and start asking the hard questions. Don't settle for the first answer that comes to mind. Dig deeper. I invite you to try it for yourself. Take a challenge, big or small, and run it through this formula. What is the conscious reality of the situation? Who holds the responsibility? How are outcomes being interpreted? What is the true purpose behind the actions being taken? Whose voices are being heard? What are the unwritten rules? What is being negotiated? And how could technology change the game? By engaging in this process, you move from being a passive participant in the systems around you to an active, insightful analyst capable of driving meaningful change.